And welcome back to another video on Wrestling and to another edition of NXT Out of 10. It's a big show today because it is NXT's first show, of course, since Stand and Deliver. And yeah, a lot went down there. Braun losing his title, to Carmelo Hayes. We've got a new NXT Women's Champion. So yeah, we're going to get all the fallout from that. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. And the new Women's Champion, Indy Hartwell, kicked off the show and said she didn't expect to win the title before. Thank you to fans for believing in her. She thanked Roxanne Perez as well and said the former champ should get the first title match, which makes sense. Zoe Stark came out to trash talk though before the champ for a lack of confidence before challenging her to a title match tonight. Indy accepted the challenge and Stark said that she would end her title reign tonight. Yeah, the idea of Roxanne Perez being the first challenger went out of the way pretty quickly, but you know, kind of a heelish thing to do for Zoe Stark to interrupt and get the title match shown away. I guess it kind of worked. So yeah, no issues with it. Kind of just a nice moment. Indy Hartwell deserves to open NXT with her new belt. And yeah, kind of a logical storyline move to kick off NXT. Tony D and Stacks then took on Pretty Deadly. Stacks and Prince kicked off the match and Wilson was tagged early before, and the Deadly were in control. But Tony tagged in and came back with big suplex and some strikes in the corner. Tony and Stacks hit stereo back body drops before clearing the ring. D'Angelo got a spine buster for a near fall before the Deadly tried to hide under the ring apron. Wilson removed one of the covers from the ring buckles in the corner, and Prince sent D'Angelo into it before picking up the win. And yeah, gets 7 out of 10 from me. Good win for Pretty Deadly, kind of one they needed after being at the tag team title pit match. And Stand and Deliver. Tony D and Stacks kind of eat a loss. I still think there's a really intriguing storyline going on there. Yeah, so for me that's definitely one to watch. And of course, these four are really good wrestlers. So yeah, get 7 out of 10. Dijak was in action taking on Odyssey Danger. Dijak took a big splash early on and hit a boot to the face for the big guy before getting some shots. And Jones sent Dijak outside with a lariat before latter caught Odyssey off a dive with a slam. Back in the ring, Jones climbed the ring but failed to hit a move before taking super kick in a Death Valley driver for a near fall. Dijak then followed that with a moonsault and picked up the win. And yeah, gets 6 out of 10 from me. I don't know. It was good for Dijak to get the win. Yeah, I want to see him do more with him after Stand and Deliver. But Odyssey James, he just needs to get some win, man. It feels like, considering the size of the guy, yeah, they really should be doing a lot more than him rather than just having him lose every week, really. But there we go. Dragon Lee v Nathan Fraser was up next, and as you can imagine, it was a banger. They traded counters early on and managed to take each other down. Fraser sent Lee outside with a drop kick before hitting a flatliner off the ropes. Lee came back with some kicks before getting a neck breaker. On the ropes again, Lee got the stomp, but took a big kick. Fraser tried for the Phoenix Splash, but Lee dodged it before hitting a sit-out powerbomb. Lee then followed out with a huge jumping knee before getting the win. And it gets 7 out of 10 from me. Yeah, would have loved to see these getting more time, to be honest, because they're just so incredibly talented. Both of them, definitely two of the best wrestlers on NXT, and they showed it here. And yeah, both of these have got so much to offer. So yeah, this was really good, as you can imagine. Dragon Lee getting another win, so it gets 7 out of 10 from me. We then saw Chase U in a backstage segment where Andre Chase thanked Tyler Bate for helping to win. Duke Hudson got up and claimed there was deserved recognition for getting the pin. Chase considered it and said he will have a trophy for him next week, with some more interesting stuff going down next week with Chase U. And yeah, I don't think that story's over yet, I'll say that. The women's tag champs then cut a little promo about cursing any tag team that came off, and Wesley hyped up his title match against Axiom before we headed for the ring for Indy versus Zoe for the title. Indy got some big strikes right off the back before Stark came back with a seat kick, but took a big boot from the champ. Starks hit a spear in the corner before sending her outside with a sliding kick. After a break, Indy got a spine buster and a near fall before Zoe got some big moves as well, but Indy rolled out of the ring. Zoe sent her back and tried for a pin, but Indy reversed into a crucifix pin before getting a win. And yeah, this gets 7 out of 10 for me. Not a bad match, but yeah, just a good babyface win to kick off the thing, and made sense for Zoe Stark to interfere. But yeah, for Indy's first title defense, it did exactly what it needs to do, so it gets 7 out of 10 from me. Tiffany Stratton then came out to taunt Indy after the match, possibly looking for a title shot as well. Before she could say anything, Cora Jade attacked Indy from behind and took her out. And yeah, I think that's a good move. Cora Jade, we've been waiting for her to come back for so long. So yeah, to have her as the first challenger for Indy Hartwell definitely makes sense for me. And so yeah, that was great stuff as well. And interesting to see where Roxanne Perez fits into this with their history as well. So good stuff. Backstage, Brooks Jensen found out that Kiana James was dating around when Briggs and Henny spilled the beans. Kiana blamed Jensen for ruining her match and stormed off as NXT continued with Tatum Paxley versus Ivy Nile. Paxley started off strong, got some strikes before locking inside headlock. Nile got a dart wrench suplex before taking a big boat. Paxley then took another big slam before Nile unloaded on her on the mat. Nile sent Paxley outside and kicked her around ringside before Tatum blocked a big kick. Ivy then locked in the Dragon Sleep hole before getting the win. And Jet gets 6 out of 10 for me. Kind of a simple match between former friends. Ivy getting the win is the right decision. And yeah, to kind of draw a line on the storyline, it was okay, but it didn't really do much for me. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Ilya Dragunov was in the backstage segment before Von Wagner got in his face. Robert Stone came in and broke it up before, promising Von he would get a match against Dragunov next week if Wagner behaved. Before it's time for Wesley versus Axiom North American title match. Yeah, but it's a singles match, but there we go. Axiom started off strong, and Lee got a drop kick before trying for a pin. Axiom then got a Hurricane Rana before kicking Lee out of the ring. Axiom climbed the Rex, but Wes came back and met him with a big uppercut to take him down. Back after a break and on NXT, Wes dodged a golden ratio kick and a near fall off a counter before Axiom got a finisher for the second try. Axiom tried for a submission move, but Lee got a drop kick on the inside cradle for a near fall. Lee then hit a super kick and went up for the finisher, but Axiom dodged it. He hit the champ with a kick to the face before Lee dodged the golden ratio and hit the cardio cack for the win. And yeah, it gets 7 out of 10 from me. This really good match, I thought. Yeah, the booking, a bit questionable why actually got the shot in a singles match, but yeah, that's besides the point. A really good match. Wesley retains, having banger matches, and yeah, loving his reign so far. And after the match, a mysterious voice appeared, talking to Axiom after, and the Scripps tried to jump in the ring, but Axiom countered, and then with a super kick and stood over them as the show continued, which was, yeah, setting up Axiom's new feud with the Scripps. I'm not massively into it, I can't lie, but you know, like I say, I'll give it more time to see where it goes. So it gets 7 out of 10 from me. We then got promos for 3 debuting stars before heading back to the ring, where Carmelo Hayes was out to celebrate his win before thanking Bron Breakker for being a worthy opponent. Melo called Bron out to the ring and thanked him for being in person before Bron said he didn't know what he would be doing next. Bron congratulated Melo and was about to leave before the champ shook his hand. Bron was celebrating with Melo, but then suddenly took him out with a lariat. Trick came out to help, but took a slam from Bron and he hit Melo with a spear and a left. Bron Breakker turns heel. Yeah, I was convinced he'd be moving out to the main roster after this, but for me, this is definitely the best alternative. His character really needed a refresh in recent weeks, I think that's fair to say. And yeah, this definitely makes sense for it to happen now. And yeah, definitely creates a new interesting dynamic. We're going to get another great match between these two. So yeah, on the whole, this was a really good way to end NXT. And overall this week, NXT gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Yeah, I thought it was a good episode of NXT this week, I can't lie. Compared to Raw, this was much better. Some really good storyline developments in there, really intriguing ones. And yeah, banger main event segment. Some really great matches like Wexley, Axiom, Dragon Lee Fraser. Just on the whole, a really good episode of NXT, and Cora Jade is back. But anyway, guys, that's it for you. Thanks so much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, thoughts, comment, comment, phone show. If you do, subscribe to my channel, greatly appreciated. Thanks so much for watching. Peace.